Imagine a home where laughter once echoed through the halls, now shrouded in the heavy silence of betrayal. In this episode, we peel back the layers of a chilling narrative that begins with a mother's worst nightmare realized in the heart of her own home. One ordinary morning, Mariah Bennett's world shatters when she discovers her daughter Jasmine in distress, symptoms of a hidden truth slowly surfacing. The revelation? Jasmine, 21, nurtures a life within her, fathered by none other than Mariah's husband, Elijah, whom she married just a year prior. As we navigate through this harrowing tale of deceit and treachery, we uncover how a web of lies entangled the lives of those who should have protected each other the most. From the initial shocking discovery to the dark secrets unfurling amidst the chaos of a family torn apart, we witness the unraveling of what once seemed like a loving home. Join us as we dissect this tragic story through interviews, reconstructions, and expert analysis, revealing the emotional and psychological depths of a crime born from within the very walls meant to shelter and protect. What led to such a horrifying end? Stay tuned as we delve deep into the heart of deception, betrayal, and a family's ruin in A Shadow in Our Home. In the heart of Atlanta, nestled within a friendly neighborhood, lived Mariah Bennett, a 44-year-old high school teacher whose life seemed to be on the cusp of a fresh start. After a painful divorce that had left her single for over 5 years, Mariah had finally opened her heart to love once more. Her new husband, Elijah Moore, was a charismatic younger man, 32, with a smile that could light up any room and a demeanor that charmed everyone he met. However, by the end of his 22-year tour of duty in the military, he had found himself trapped in a cycle of depression and mental illness. Beneath his magnetic exterior lay undisclosed intentions that would soon surface, altering the course of their lives forever. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more true crime stories. Mariah and Elijah's whirlwind romance began at a local charity event where Elijah volunteered as a DJ. His vibrant energy and genuine interest in Mariah's work with underprivileged students quickly won her over. Within just 6 months, their casual meetings evolved into a deep, passionate relationship, culminating in a swift proposal. Mariah, engulfed in the whirlwind of affection and promises of a new future, overlooked the age gap and the whispers of caution from her friends. Jasmine Bennett, Mariah's daughter from her previous marriage, was a bright 21-year-old college student studying psychology. Initially, she was skeptical about Elijah, protective of her mother and the pain she had endured in the past. However, Elijah's efforts to bond over music, her academic interests, and even simple movie nights gradually dismantled her reservations. As the months passed, the family's dynamic began to subtly shift. Mariah, often caught up in her demanding job, remained oblivious to the growing closeness between her husband and her daughter. What started as mentorship and familial bonding took a clandestine turn. The relationship between Elijah and Jasmine transformed, driven by shared secrets and stolen moments, spiraling into an illicit affair right under Mariah's nose. The betrayal was cleverly masked by normalcy. Elijah, adept at deception, balanced his roles between attentive husband and covert lover with alarming ease. Jasmine, conflicted by her emotions and loyalty to her mother, found herself drawn deeper into the web of duplicity, torn between the thrill of the forbidden and the crushing guilt towards Mariah. As the secret relationship intensified, the household's atmosphere thickened with unspoken truths. Small signs began to emerge: whispered phone calls, Elijah's unexplained absences, and Jasmine's sudden mood swings. But it was the physical evidence that eventually shattered the facade. Morning, the precarious balance toppled when Mariah, preparing laundry, discovered a receipt from a boutique hotel tucked away in Elijah's coat. The date and time clashed with one of his supposed late business meetings. The seed of doubt planted, Mariah's trust began to erode, setting the stage for the unraveling of her family. Her subsequent observations grew sharper, her inquiries into Elijah's comings and goings more pointed, leading her toward the heart-wrenching truth that lay hidden within her own home. Amidst the backdrop of deceit, the Bennett Moore household stood on the brink of disintegration, a family portrait marred by the strokes of betrayal. As the story unfolds, we delve deeper into the chaos that ensues, the emotional whirlwind that captures each character, and the inevitable collision of truth and consequence. In the quiet lull of an ordinary life, the smallest changes can speak volumes. As the days turned into weeks, Mariah Bennett started to notice subtle shifts within the walls of her home. It was in the way Elijah's laughter no longer reached his eyes when he spoke to her, in the silence that fell a bit too heavily after Jasmine hastily exited rooms upon her approach. These faint signals, seemingly innocuous, began to knit together a tapestry of doubt in Mariah's mind. Mariah, once secure in the rhythm of her daily life, found herself grappling with an unsettling sense of change. Elijah's returns from work became erratic. His explanations, sprinkled with vagueness, did little to quell her unease. Jasmine, too, was transforming before her eyes. Once vibrant and open, she now seemed perpetually distracted, her bright spark dimmed by secrets she wasn't sharing. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more true crime stories. Then came the physical manifestations of a hidden truth. Jasmine's morning sickness was the first tangible clue. Initially dismissed as a passing illness, the frequency of her discomfort painted a clearer, more alarming picture. Mariah's suspicions, now armed with the weight of maternal instinct, turned into a silent, relentless quest for the truth. As the evidence mounted, so did the tension within the house. Mariah, armed with fragmented pieces of the puzzle, felt the fabric of her family unraveling. One evening, as she sorted through the recycling, she discovered a discarded prescription for prenatal vitamins, prescribed to Jasmine. The name on the label echoed like a gunshot in the quiet of the night. The revelation brought a storm of emotions. Confrontation was inevitable. With a heart heavy as stone, Mariah approached Jasmine, her voice trembling but firm. The conversation that ensued was fraught with tension. Jasmine, cornered by the undeniable evidence, broke down and confessed the unimaginable. The child growing inside her was Elijah's. Mariah's world, once filled with love and laughter, had turned into a labyrinth of betrayal. The confrontation that followed between Mariah and Elijah was charged with a volatile mix of fury and despair. Elijah, his facade crumbling, attempted to weave a web of excuses, each more feeble than the last. The revelation not only confirmed Mariah's worst fears, but also set the stage for a darker turn of events. With secrets exposed, the fragile threads holding them together snapped, unleashing a cascade of decisions that would lead them down a tragic path. The betrayal had not only broken a family, but had set them on a collision course with fate. On the unremarkable evening, the Bennett-Moore household erupted into chaos. The heated argument between Mariah and Elijah, sparked by the shocking revelation of betrayal, reached its boiling point. Words gave way to desperation and violence. Amid the turmoil, Elijah, his back against the wall, made a split-second decision that would forever alter the course of their lives. Mariah, in a bid to confront Elijah with the full force of her anguish and demand accountability, advanced towards him. The confrontation escalated rapidly, voices raised, accusations hurled, until the sound of a gunshot shattered the night. In the chaos, Mariah fell, wounded but alive, her screams piercing the quiet neighborhood. The call for help was swift and urgent. A concerned neighbor, having overheard the distressing sounds of their altercation and the unmistakable gunshot, did not hesitate to call 911. This quick thinking provided the authorities with their first real-time witness account of the events unfolding within the troubled home. As police arrived at the scene, the gravity of the situation unfolded before them. Mariah, injured but coherent, relayed the harrowing events as paramedics tended to her wounds. Elijah, now a figure of shock and regret, was taken into custody, his earlier demeanor of charm nowhere to be seen. The investigation that followed was meticulous and thorough. Detectives canvassed the home, gathering every piece of evidence, from the firearm used in the attempted murder to the digital footprints of Elijah's and Jasmine's communications. Forensic analysts worked to piece together the timeline of the night's events, corroborating Mariah's account with the physical evidence found at the scene. As the case transitioned from the initial emergency response to a full-blown criminal investigation, the focus shifted to the legal proceedings. The betrayal that had destroyed a family was now a matter of public record, set to be dissected in the courtroom. The courtroom drama that ensued was as emotionally charged as the events that led to it. Prosecutors painted a vivid picture of Elijah's manipulation and betrayal, using evidence of his affair with Jasmine and the subsequent violent confrontation. The defense, meanwhile, attempted to frame Elijah's actions as those of a man pushed to the brink, caught in a web of domestic tension and rash decisions. Testimonies from Mariah and Jasmine were pivotal. Mariah, her voice steady but filled with a palpable sense of betrayal, recounted the years of trust and love she had invested in Elijah, only to be repaid with deception and violence. Jasmine, overwhelmed by guilt and sorrow, struggled through her account, detailing how what began as a forbidden attraction spiraled into a catastrophic series of events. Elijah's own testimony was a key moment in the trial. His confession to the affair and the shooting, while pleading for leniency based on emotional turmoil and panic, provided the jury with a complex portrait of a man whose flawed decisions had led to near-tragic consequences. As the trial neared its conclusion, the legal ramifications of Elijah's actions crystallized. Charged with attempted murder and a slew of other offenses, the proceedings not only sought to administer justice for the crime, but also to address the deeper, more insidious betrayals that had fractured the Bennett Moore family. The verdict, when it came, was a somber conclusion to a saga of love, betrayal, and violence. With the gavel's final fall, the echoes of the case would linger, a stark reminder of the fragility of trust and the depths to which the human heart can descend when led astray. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more true crime stories. In the aftermath of betrayal and violence, the emotional wreckage was vast and deep. Mariah Bennett, once the pillar of strength and love in her family, found herself navigating a tumultuous sea of emotions. The discovery of her husband Elijah's affair with her own daughter Jasmine was not just a betrayal of her marriage vows, but a profound breach of maternal trust. Mariah's days and nights merged into a continuous loop of questioning and disbelief. How could the two people she loved most deceive her so grievously? Each memory of their time together, once precious, now turned into a painful reminder of their duplicity. The psychological torment of reconciling the man she loved with the facts of his betrayal caused her profound distress, affecting her ability to trust, her sense of self-worth, and her perspective on love and family. Meanwhile, Jasmine grappled with her own set of turbulent emotions. Caught between her love for her mother and the illicit relationship with Elijah, her internal conflict was palpable. The fear of losing her mother's love battled with the guilt of her actions. Jasmine's psychological struggle manifested in sleepless nights, anxiety, and a profound sense of isolation as she contemplated the irreparable damage her choices had caused. To delve deeper into the psychological impact of such familial betrayals, we spoke with Dr. Lena Richards, a clinical psychologist specializing in family dynamics and trauma. The betrayal within a family unit can lead to what we call complex trauma. For Mariah, the betrayal disrupts her foundational beliefs about her marriage and her role as a mother. It triggers a crisis of identity and trust, which can have long-lasting effects, including depression and anxiety. Jasmine's situation is also psychologically complex. Her actions, though deeply hurtful, stem from vulnerability and possibly manipulation by an older, authoritative figure in her life. Elijah's role as the manipulator in this tragic tale is marked by a pattern of charming yet deceitful behavior. His ability to maintain a facade of loyalty while orchestrating an affair indicates a level of psychological manipulation that can cause severe emotional harm to his victims. To gain insight into Elijah's manipulative behaviors, we consulted with Dr. Simon Gerard, a behavioral psychologist. Manipulative individuals often possess charm and a keen sense of their victims' vulnerabilities. In Elijah's case, his manipulation was not just emotional, but also psychological. He crafted an environment where his actions were obscured by the normalcy of day-to-day life, making it difficult for Mariah and Jasmine to see the truth until the consequences were dire. The psychological reverberations of such deep-seated betrayal echo far beyond the immediate emotional responses. For Mariah and Jasmine, the path to healing would require confronting these painful truths, understanding the nature of Elijah's manipulation, and slowly rebuilding the trust that was shattered. As we explore the emotional landscape of this devastated family, it becomes clear that the journey towards recovery is fraught with challenges. However, it also offers a chance for renewal and deeper understanding. The road to forgiveness and healing is long and winding, marked by moments of vulnerability and strength. As we reach the conclusion of our deep dive into the tragic saga of the Bennett Moore family, we pause to reflect on the aftermath and the moral residues that linger long after the dust has settled. Mariah Bennett, having survived the attempted murder, spent the ensuing months in recovery both physically and emotionally. Her journey was one of profound resilience, attending therapy sessions to rebuild her shattered trust and self-worth. She returned to teaching, her experience fueling a passionate commitment to helping others heal through education. Jasmine, burdened with guilt over her role in the events, chose to redirect her life towards restitution. Completing her psychology degree, she began working with nonprofit organizations that support women and families affected by domestic betrayal and violence, seeking redemption through service. Elijah, sentenced to a lengthy prison term, faced the consequences of his actions. Within the confines of incarceration, he participated in counseling sessions, grappling with his manipulative behaviors and working towards some form of personal reform. The story of the Bennett Moore family serves as a stark reminder of the devastating impact that betrayal can have on the foundational trust within a family. It compels us to ask ourselves about the nature of trust, how easily it is broken, and the immense effort required to rebuild it. Betrayal, particularly within a family, disrupts the very core of our emotional and social stability. The psychological scars can be deep, affecting not just the direct victims, but also the broader community. The ethical implications challenge us to consider our own values regarding loyalty, responsibility, and forgiveness. We invite you, our viewers, to reflect on this story. How would you react if placed in a similar situation? Could you forgive such a betrayal from those closest to you? Join the conversation in the comments below and share your thoughts and experiences related to trust and redemption. Moreover, the complexities uncovered in this case prompt us to explore further. Stay tuned for our upcoming video where we delve into similar cases, examining unresolved questions and the mysterious factors that drive individuals to betray those closest to them. As we continue to explore these profound human dramas, we are reminded of the delicate balance between trust and suspicion, love and betrayal, and the continuous journey towards understanding and perhaps forgiveness. Thank you for joining us on this journey through darkness and into the light of understanding and empathy. Until next time, keep questioning, keep seeking, and keep engaging with the stories that challenge and change us. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more true crime stories.